Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is now episode 11 of our NDIS SEO campaign, and in this episode we'll be going through location page strategy. So essentially what a location page is it is a landing page on your website that is targeting a certain location that you are trying to market your services to. So if you look at the map here, I'll zoom out a bit. Neighbourly Community Care is located here in Griffin. So you can assume that with their Google business profile, they're going to roughly target a radius, say that big. And since the homepage is targeting Brisbane, you can then assume that there's going to be a radius in probably the northern part of Brisbane, say here. And then what we're trying to do with the location page is create a page to target Caboolture as well as Redcliffe so that we can sort of cast our net a bit wider. And now instead of just targeting the north side of Brisbane and a little bit where the business is located, we're now targeting up north in Caboolture and hopefully reaching clients here in Redcliffe as well. Now, while location page is an effective strategy at extending your reach and visibility outside of your normal business location, they're not as easy as just creating a page for anywhere, say in Australia, and just ranking for those high intent disability support keywords. So if you were to just go out and create a location page in Sydney and just start targeting disability services in Sydney, it's going to be almost impossible to start ranking for this location unless you are able to create a business location in this area. So you got a virtual office or even just an office where you could then set up a Google business profile and sort of prove to Google that you're located here and that you provide services here. My initial plan was to show the entire process of the content creation for this page. So I was going to show the content brief creation and then creating the content, but I've already done that a number of times in this guide. So I'm going to put a link at the top of the screen now if you want to go back and watch that process. So this is the page template that my developer created for me. It's just a standard landing page with a number of content sections, an FAQ, form, reviews, and also a map. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly speed through this and upload all the content that I've generated, and then I'll talk about processes at the end. Okay, I've now added all the content to this page, which fits nicely here. One other thing you can do, because we've got the service tiles again, this is another internal linking opportunity to add a button and link that to all of the relevant service pages. And this contact form here, I don't exactly like the look of it. I do like how effective they are having contact forms above the fold. I've found across a number of clients that these actually return some of the most inquiries out of all the contact forms on the website. So I like to leave it here and make it just front and center and easy for someone to reach out once they've decided they want your services. So I'm going to tidy this up when I get a chance and just maybe make these edges rounded, make it a bit more see-through to see the banner a little bit better. But other than that, this page is looking quite good. Okay, so essentially what this page is doing is just targeting a number of keywords related to disability services and disability support in Redcliffe. So as you can see here in the H1, this is our primary keyword, disability services Redcliffe. And then throughout all the other headers on this page, we're targeting a variation of disability services and disability support. So as you can see here, Redcliffe Disability Support Services, a bit more information. We've got the service tiles, and instead of Brisbane here, we included Redcliffe. Personalised Redcliffe care, that puts you first, just a little bit more about the service and what you can expect. And then lastly, just a section here about Neighbourly and why they are different and a client should pick them over a competitor. Further down the FAQ section, it's just relevant to exclusively Redcliffe and just answering any questions a client may have before reaching out and working with Neighbourly. As always, before we publish, we need a meta title and description. So here's the meta title here. It's a bit long, but I don't mind that because Google's usually going to cut this off at around 60 characters anyway, so we just let them decide. Meta description, write me a 140 to 150 meta description that ends with a short CTA. See what this comes back with. Here it's listed a few of the services we offer. I don't usually like this because it's going to leave a few out. So I'll just say, don't mention the name of the services. That sounds a lot better. Hopefully that's not too long. 160 characters, about bang on. Now we will publish this one. look at the live page, grab the URL, and as always, submit it to Google Search Console to get this indexed as soon as possible. So request indexing. There we go, indexing is requested. The last thing to do is just to make sure that this page is connected to the website. If you don't connect the page to your website, it is what's known as an orphan page, which means it's just sitting there by itself without any internal links to your main website, which means essentially if people don't find it through Google search, they are not going to be able to find it in any of the navigation on your website. So since we only have 2 locations that we're going to be targeting outside of Brisbane on the homepage, we're not going to have a hub page where you could potentially have a number of different locations around Australia that you house the links for, but we're just going to add it to the footer, and that should be enough for that, as we're only targeting 2 locations. Okay, I'm just going to quickly edit the footer now. Scroll down, click on the edit button here. Click on this container, and over here on the left there is a link here, so we just search Redcliffe and hopefully it shows up. Yep, Disability Services Redcliffe, and we'll add and publish that. So there you have it. That is how you create a location page for a location outside of your standard business location. So now hopefully this will start getting ranked in Google, and we'll start getting traffic and potentially even leads through to the site and extend the client base for this client. So that concludes all of the work that will be done for this NDIS SEO campaign. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where I will outline a strategy that you can implement on an ongoing basis and how you can just continue to improve the rankings and effectiveness of the content and pages on your site. Keep bringing in more highly qualified traffic and growing your business. Cheers.